Strait became the last men standing, carrying the torch of true country music. But real country is harder to find today. Record labels and radio won't play it, and fans know it. Alan Jackson saw it too. In 2000, he and George Strait recorded Murder on Music Row, warning that Nashville's love for pop crossover was killing the genre they loved, and it came. Now, at 67, Alan is on his final tour. Last call, one more for the road. The name alone carries the weight of a man who knows it's the end. But the farewell isn't just because of age or illness. It's a life lived in music and service, donating millions after Nashville floods, comforting a grieving nation after 9/11, and walking onto the Country Music Hall of Fame stage under his own strength. Alan grew up in Noonan, Georgia, in a tiny house built by his grandfather, feeling the freight trains rumble through his chest. His father, Eugene, taught him the dignity of hard work. Church gave him his first stage. Singing gospel hymns made people stop and listen. By his teens, Alan taught himself guitar, learning by ear and callus, with no connections and no guarantees. But he kept playing until his hands knew the strings like his father's knew an engine. Denise, his greatest support, believed in him long before anyone else. And together, they carried true country music forward, even in the toughest times. Alan and Denise had been high school sweethearts in Noonan, Georgia, married in 1979, never imagining life beyond state lines. Denise became a flight attendant to support Alan while he played local honky-tonks on weekends, a job that would unexpectedly change their lives. One day, in the mid-1980s, Denise spotted a tall man at the Atlanta airport, Glenn Campbell, the voice behind Rhinestone Cowboy and Wichita Lineman. Most people would freeze, but Denise walked right up and asked what her husband needed to do to break into country music. Campbell handed her a business card and said, "Have Alan come to Nashville." That single moment sparked a journey that would change everything. Alan and Denise moved to Nashville with almost nothing. He worked the mailroom at the Nashville network while his demos gathered dust. Rejections were constant, money scarce, but Alan kept writing and Denise kept believing. Eventually, Arista Nashville took a chance on him, and his debut album, Here in the Real World, climbed the charts. When Don't Rock the Jukebox dropped in 1991, it wasn't just a song, it was a statement. Alan drew a line in the sand against Nashville executives pushing pop over real country. Songs like Chattahoochee, Drive, and Gone Country resonated deeply because they were honest, relatable, and unapologetically true to who he was. Alan's career was extraordinary. 35 #1 singles, over 75 million records sold, 2 Grammys, 16 CMAs, 17 ACMs. But what made him stand out wasn't the numbers. He never pretended to be someone else. Jeans, cowboy hat, songs about real life. He was one of the fans, and his audience trusted. But fame came at a cost. The early years of touring strained Alan and Denise's marriage. He was unfaithful, betraying the woman who had risked everything to support his dream. The separation was public and painful. What saved their marriage wasn't Alan, it was Denise. Through faith and forgiveness, she found the strength to heal, eventually writing It's All About Him, a testament to surrendering pain and finding peace. Their family faced more heartbreak when Alan's youngest daughter, Maddie, lost her husband, Ben Selectman, in a boating accident just a year after their wedding. Alan stood beside her, powerless against a grief no fame or fortune could ease. Alan Jackson also experienced helplessness on a national scale on September 11, 2001. Like millions, he watched the world collapse, but his songwriter's mind reached for meaning. By the end of the day, he had written most of Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning, a song of honesty that asked the question every American was feeling. Weeks later, he performed it unannounced at the CMA Awards. By the second verse, people were crying. By the final note, the entire auditorium was in tears. The song won CMA Song of the Year and became an American anthem, proving that a single voice and a guitar could move a nation. That instinct to channel suffering into action resurfaced in 2010, when floods devastated Nashville. Alan donated generously and helped rebuild the city, proving again that when the world breaks, we respond. Through song, through service, through Meanwhile, country music was changing. By the early 2000s, pop, rock, and hip-hop influences flooded the radio. Steel guitars faded, real stories gave way to party anthems, and the heart of the genre was being diluted. Bro country dominated, and traditional artists like Jackson and George Strait found fewer opportunities to be heard. For millions of fans, Jackson represented their lives. Small towns, church on Sundays, working-class values. When the airwaves filled with songs about partying on a beach, they felt erased. Jackson could have adapted, chased trends, or added electronic beats, but he refused. He stayed true, sacrificing radio play for authenticity, earning the loyalty of every fan who... Long before his own diagnosis, Jackson knew the cruel toll of Charcot-Marie tooth disease, watching it destroy his father's hands, the same hands that had taught him the dignity of work. CMT, a genetic disease, would eventually touch Jackson too, a shadow over a career built on precision, heart, and honesty. Songs like Remember When Now carry even more weight, a quiet meditation on a life moving from youth to love, parenthood, and the inevitability of aging. It's a reflection on everything he's been given and everything he may lose, an authentic life captured in... Through it all, Denise Jackson remains his anchor. The woman who once approached Glenn Campbell in an airport and changed the course of his life has survived his worst mistakes, raised their daughters through tragedy, and now faces the hardest chapter of their shared journey with the same faith and determination that saved their marriage decades ago. Together, they remain a testament to love, resilience, and the enduring power of real country music. Whatever comes next for Jackson, he won't face it alone. For a man who learned early that love means surviving life's hardest trials, that may be the greatest truth of all. We started out as teenagers, and she's ridden this roller coaster with me for more than 40 years, he says. If this story moved you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Jackson's journey reminds us that real courage isn't about fighting the things you can't control. It's about staying true to who you are, no matter what the world takes from you. Thank you for watching, and remember, the best country music, like the best lives, is the kind that tells